Yo, what's good, friendly ghosts and non-friendlies? How's everybody doing? Today we're trying out a game called Asuka 120% Burning Fest final Burning Fest. You know, whatever it's called. You know, we're playing this game on the PS1. I've always wanted to get into the Asuka series. I know they're on the Sega Saturn and whatnot, but I'm trying the very last one in the franchise. Now, I do like to do a bit of research before playing these games. I like to learn, a bit of history about it, the communities view it, learn the standard of play and the expectations of play. And I do know that this game is a bit of a black sheep amongst the franchise because they've changed so many things from a previous game that people find more endearing and they play more competitively, called limited over. And so this game comparatively is a bit of a total opposite of that game, whereas limited over is a bit more, let's just say, evenly paced. This game is a bit more of the hyper times 20 speed pace, right? This game is a lot more chaotic. I would describe this game as like a single character Marvel in a way. But it also reminds me of Arcana Hearts 1. I've always been interested in Asuka 120% because of the music. The music is really the driving force for me in a lot of games, and I finally caught up to this game, years later, giving it a go. And I will say, on first impression, I was not feeling it. Now, let's talk about a bit of the gripes that some people in the community typically have, or at least that I've seen that people have with this game. For one, is the speed. For two, is the life bar, right? This game takes a long time to KO an opponent. In fact, you may not KO an opponent in a single set or whatever. One of the reasons for this is that there are two bars tied to your health. There's the yellow bar, which is your health, and then there's a blue bar, which may be called a guard gauge or maybe like an endurance gauge. We'll get to that later. And then you have a super bar, which just fills up whenever you take hits or deal damage. When it gets to 120%, you unlock supers, and supers can be used for as long as the 120 remains. It's not a meter spin, it's just a time allotted that you have to use this move within. Every character has a V as a mode from Street Fighter Alpha. I haven't played Alpha. I don't know how it really works, but it looks similar. And I'm more familiar with Genagin from Third Strike. Although in this game it doesn't give you super hitbox priority. You get an idea for what it does, right? It gives you more combos and custom combos and whatever. So let's talk about the life bar thing, right? Because it's hard to KO your opponents in this game, and most matches typically go to time over. So how this game works: on hit you take guard damage, which is the blue bar, most of the damage there, and the life bar takes like 10 or 20% of that damage. The blue gauge also acts as a bit of a combo limiter or an infinite prevention system, because whenever the bar is depleted, you get a chance to do your stun combo, your traditional stun combo, and you try to maximize your damage in that, and then the character's allowed to get back up and at least try to compete again. The way that this works, every time your blue bar depletes, which I don't think is a guard gauge or an endurance gauge, it's more like just a blue life bar, gray life, right? Recoverable gray life, and you take chip damage from this bar as well, and it does recover over time, and it does affect the way that you win rounds. When you deplete this bar, you gain a round within the round, right? You have your traditional best of 3, but if you deplete their blue gauge, you're allotted a down point, which is a round within a round, basically. As long as you have that down advantage, that round within a round, you win, right? So there is multiple ways to win a round. You can have the down advantage, or you can deplete their life bar. You deplete their life bar, the round ends instantly. Take out their blue gauge, you get a down point, and basically the more downs you get, the more life lead that you have over the opponent. So if I have 2 downs and you have no downs, even if you have the life lead over me, my downs are going to give me the win over you. If our downs are even, then the match ends in a traditional fashion. Whoever has the life lead wins. So it's an interesting twist on it in the way this works. When you look at that blue gauge, not as a guard gauge, not as a stamina or an endurance gauge, but like a blue life gauge, your gray damage personified, the game starts to make a lot more sense, and your tactics, your approach starts to change a little bit, and because you can deal a lot of damage to this blue gauge, right? That is not the issue. The life gauge is the one that takes like 10% or 15% of the damage that you deal to the blue gauge. So with that said, this game is a combo fest. I've seen some complaints that say that this game, the hit stun doesn't allow you to get too funky with combos and all that, and because of that there's no real way to deplete life bars, and I've seen that and I felt that way originally, but upon further investigation I find that to be the exact opposite. It's like single character Marvel. Get one touch, you could take out that blue gauge on any one touch, right? So this game, as chaotic as it is, it's going to get even faster and even more chaotic. Like, I don't know how many people knew about this. There's not much information or not much examples or representations of this. There's like one video from like 20 years ago that I've been able to find about this, and so I had to find out how to do it my own way, and I found 2 ways to do this. So let's talk about it. So in this game you can jump cancel every normal move, the 3 buttons: light, medium, and heavy. The medium is more like a medium because it does the same amount of damage as heavy, for at least for my character, but I guess it just has like less knockback. Special move buttons you can't jump cancel out of. On hit you can jump cancel out of all of your normal buttons. So in this game you go from light, medium to heavies. So my character Nana here, she can't do a crouching medium and go into light, so you can only do crouching medium and go into heavy, right? You can't do heavies and go into medium, you can only do heavies and go into special, right? So with jump canceling, or whatever you might want to call it, if there's a proper term for it, you can do a crouching medium with Nana, my character. If you press up as quickly as possible and immediately tap an attack button right afterwards, they have to be like within, I don't know the frames exactly, I'll say it feels like a 1 frame or maybe 2 frames, right? Because you have to tap up and then you have to tap a button after you tap up, not on the same frame. I don't believe you press them on the same frame. It has to be one then the other. So there's like 3 different windows that you have to hit. You have to hit the timing on the hit, anytime within the hit that you can still get a combo. Release up, quickly press a button, and it's like you have to hit it frame, in that order. It's harder to do. I found an easier way to do it, and we'll talk about that later, but this is how I found out how to do it. And so we'll use this example in me showing some combos and I was able to come up with by doing this. So have a take and have a look. I believe in this example I did crouching medium into heavy, and then I canceled the heavy with the jump cancel, and I was able to continue and extend the combo with that. And I extended it another time by canceling the medium, I believe, into another medium. So anyways, this is what's possible in this game, right? And when I first found this out, you're sure the combo dropped. That's not the important part. Look at how much damage already had occurred before that. And knowing the fact that you could continue that combo and extend it and do more damage, that is what we're talking about right now. I'll show you some more examples, and just take a look, see, and we'll be right back. Okay, so like I said, jump canceling is the harder way to do this, and when I first discovered this, I was like, wow, this is so cool. It extends the game, to a level that I didn't think it was going to go. Right, this game has got even nuttier, And I thought it was just so cool because it is hard to do, right? At least on your second, third day. It's worth the grit of the gander, or whatever the fuck the saying is called. You know, it's worth it because you get something so good of a reward for pulling something so strickler. But then I found out afterwards, there is an easier way to do this. There's a much easier way and get your combo extensions infinite slash it's not really infinite in this game because of the blue life gauge. Aside from doing jump canceling, you can also do dash canceling in this game. And again, I haven't played the previous Asuka games, so I don't know if that was possible in those games or not. But let's just talk about what it means in this game. On any of the normals, again, you can dash out of. As long as you press down, back, or up, you can cancel the dash into something else. In the same way that we just did the jump canceling, we're going to do it with the dash instead, only you have a lot more room for error. Means it's going to happen a lot more frequently, potentially too frequently, but you'll be interested to see where this game goes knowing this and using this. I don't know if I said this before. The jump cancel you can only do on hit. On the block, you can't do it. The dash cancel, however, you can do it on hit and on block. Block pressure and infinites, and then add V'ism on top of it, or Genagent on top of that. And the game is gone from fast paced to whatever it's going to be, right? The slow life gauge depletion all of a sudden becomes not that big of a impossibility. You know, the gauge is going to get drained off of a single touch. Stun combo, stun combo, stun combo. Reset, and you're playing for the next one, right? You're getting the down points, you're getting the rounds within the round. So there's a game between getting down points and then getting the life bar, which will completely end the round on the spot. You can have the downs advantage on me. As long as I take your life bar down once, I win that round. So it's a choice to make, whether you sit on that the down advantage, or do you have to approach and try to tie up the down advantage, you know, or do you have to go for the life gauge, right? Because you can go for the stun combos, and the stun combos may take a while to get those damage, or you can just let them reset and get back up and start trying to take down the gauge again, right? So there's choices to make regarding how you can win the round and how the best way you can take the round, or, you know, even it up or whatever. There's choices like that are unique to this game that I appreciate. I appreciate how unique it is, right? And now adding the infinites that every character has. I believe every character has, because it feels like a system-wide thing and not character specific. I tried it with 3 different characters so far, and it works for every one of them. The pathing maybe is a bit different per character, but the same principle. And we talked about the jump cancel. Although it's outdated because of this, there still is one application for the jump cancel, is doing dash attacks. You can't dash cancel out of a dash attack. So you can still use the jump cancel for dash attacks to extend your combos in that way. So there's still some application there for that. So yeah, this game is crazy. It was crazy at first sight, and now it's just got even crazier. So let's also talk of one more usage of this dash canceling. This game has a class system where you throw out attacks, the moves collide with each other. The game kind of like pauses to emphasize the hit stop, right? It's kind of like slow motion before slow motion became a thing in fighting games, right? It's pretty cool. It makes things even more intense, especially in clutch scenarios. With this class system, on startup of the dashes, there's like 3 hits of clash.
Hold up, post-edit correction coming through. We got another one, boy.
I don't believe there is a limit to the amount that your dash can absorb. Rather, it is proximity based. Think of it like this: when you dash, your character gains an armored hitbox in front of their person. However, since you're consistently moving forward, your character's hurt box is going to progressively enter the range of the opponent's hitbox, and thus putting you in danger, and you're going to take the hit. The dash is a permanent armored move that you have at your disposal. Get good, Pass Owl. And anyways, getting to the point, because you can dash cancel, the dash kind of becomes a bit of a defensive parry option, right? So you could do stuff like that and it becomes a bit of a parry mechanic. And you can use this to make a lot of things unsafe.
What you say there? Hold up. The block is hot.
Even though you can dash cancel it, when you force the class, the attacker has the opportunity to cancel out their attack into another attack immediately. So you can't use it to make things unsafe per se, at least when they're on the ground or when they're doing normals. If they commit to like a special move of some sort or press the special move button, then perhaps, or even if they're jumping in the air, then you can potentially make things unsafe. But yeah, you can also use it to bait them out and do stuff that typically wouldn't be unsafe. Like instead of just trying to clash with the move, you know, and trying to pray that the move outclasses what they do, you can instead just dash towards them and use that as a way to try to parry everything they do so they can't do things like chip you out and just punish things that may not have been punishable before, you know. And if you get too close, you might just switch sides and then you just get a full punish. So there's cool things like that in this game that, you know, theoretically, right? I haven't done this per se to dash cancel. I haven't done this yet. I'm going to try today, but it sounds cool. It sounds so cool to me that I want to try it out. I want to, you right? A lot of things in this game sound so cool, right? So for this game being a bit of a black sheep for the Asuka games and not really looked fondly upon, there's some stuff that I'm not too sure many people knew about, or at least not widely and readily available information. So let's just talk about it again. In this game, one of the big gripes against it was way too fast. Life bar doesn't deplete. Games go to timeout too much. Not just a lot of ways to get that damage, right? Points that I talked about and, you know, gave some information on in this video. One, the game is going to be even faster, right? So I guess that's not a good thing. You know, I guess it's slower if you're in the infinite. I guess it's, you know, whatever ways that you can look at it. But at least there's some direction to this game, right? I think that's the most important part, right? Because of the infinites and the dash canceling, the jump canceling, there's a bit more direction, at least for me, that I'm taking towards this game. There's a lot more direction in the damage, you know, opportunity. This game effectively being one touch, you lose a bar. One touch, you get a down, and then you get a free stun combo, right? The bases are covered with that, right? There's a bit more direction here, at least. There's a lot more direction to be taken. It's not just scrambling, mashing your way. You know, there's a lot more purpose that at least I'm taking towards this game now. And the third one, I can't remember what the fuck I was talking about. Anyways, I like the game. The mechanics, they seem pretty cool. They're very unique. I appreciate that. And the music is good. Sure, the characters are a bit more on the anime waifu side of things, but you know, if a game has a good soundtrack, I could dig it. You know, I can look past a lot of things. The game is fun, chaotic. This game is nuts, it's fast, it's intense. I like it. I like it. Of course, I have not tried Limited Over or in any of the previous games. So eventually, you know, I hope I'll be able to try those out and, you know, slow the pace down a bit. I am hella excited and proud to play these type of games where it feels like there's a disaster in the wake, and then it turns out that it might be something that works out. And you know, I hope that maybe this excited a couple of people to play this game and try it out, and maybe people never knew about this. Maybe they have already known about this, and far be it from me to try to speak or preach, because I just found this game again like 2 days ago. All right, I'm still finding and learning things out myself. I just found out last night why some combos comboed and why some of them were techable. And that's because when you're on the edge of the screen, you can immediately tech, whereas if you're middle screen, then the combo is pretty much free reign until the combo limit, which you know, they just become invincible and they fall out. And then, you know, they're able to tech when they get near the ground, right? But anything other than that mid-screen is free reign combo opportunity, right? So I just found that out last night. I'm still learning the ropes. So far be it for me to try to preach and, you know, act like I know everything about the game, because I don't. I'm still learning on the fly, but I just found that this to be a bit too eye-opening for me, right? For my initial time playing this game, I was like, yeah, this is cool, fast-paced, you know, just got to get used to the chaoticness of it. Now it's even more chaotic, but there's a lot more direction that I'm taking towards it now, sorry, right? So I think that's the biggest takeaway, is there's a lot more direction in this game. And I think that's pretty exciting. So anyways, let me know what y'all think. Does it excite you to play, to give it a try, to try out some of these characters and try to, you know, learn their infinite routes, or, you know, their block strings or whatever, their approach, and looking at the life gauge. You know, it's not just a guard gauge, but it's actually gives you a life lead, a life advantage. All right, there's several easy ways to take out that gauge, so it only takes one touch. It only takes one touch to take that gauge from 100 to 0, and it's just a matter of your ability to execute it and keep the rhythm. Can you keep the rhythm, right? But anyways, I'm excited to play, and I'm excited to share this video with y'all. This game turned out to be a lot cooler than I thought it was going to be. I could only hope that I liked this game as much as I liked the music. What are the chances that I actually do like the game as much as I like the music? This game feel like the possibilities are there. There's nothing that excites me more about a fighting game or a game period where the possibilities feel like there's just so much room for things to happen unexpectedly. I love that about fighting games. That is like the best thing a fighting game can have. And the Asuka series seems like that's what it's got going for it. But in this game specifically, it just feels like just the chaoticness mixed in with the already Asuka foundation, and now giving it a bit more direction. I'm just saying, could be something exciting to see, right? It wins on the spectacle side of things, right? Regardless of how it actually turns out to be played, as a spectacle, it's pretty interesting and amusing to watch just based off of that alone. So maybe I'll get to trying out Limited over in the future. I hope to be able to do that someday. But until then, I'm happy to share this information with y'all, and I'll leave y'all with a couple of matches, maybe if I haven't shown it already. This has been Tryout, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side. May peace be with those. Keep your heads up, deuces, those both side of you, stay cool. And if you like this content, be sure to show some love, but always be sure to show that love to the people who matter to you. This is Tryout bidding you farewell, peace, much love, and stay cool. Deuces.
本目勝負最終戦勝負
いざ
1本目勝負
風月こりゃ風月戦はっはっはっはっやへいへいはっへいはおけやへいそうやへいそうやへいそうやへいそうやへいそうやへいやや風月戦そうやへいそうはっへいこりゃこういう剣そうやへいそうはおけそうやへいそうやへいはおけややえそうや
2本目勝負
はっへいえうとそうへいへいえうとそうお覚悟そうやへそうやへそう石若の舞風月戦やへいはっはっへいこりゃやへいはっこりゃへいはっはっへいこりゃやへいこりゃへいはっこりゃそうやこりゃはっそうやえそうこりゃへいこりゃそうやえそうやえそうややへいあいりへいそうやへいはっはっややへいへいはっはっはっはおけんはややへいそうやや交流権そうこりゃそうえはっそうこりゃへいはおけんや交流権はやへいはおけんそうややへいはっこりゃへいやや交流権やへい交流権やはっはっややへいやはっこりゃやへい石若の舞愛流
ここまで
へいはっよし
最終戦勝負
こりゃ愛流交流権愛流交流こりゃ愛流交流
最終戦勝負。
あなた筋はよろしくてよ。おそ松。
Out of the ring. The grueling battle ends with the victory of Taka. You win.